He inherited a legendary name. Along with it came the charm, the blessings, and the burdens. Also, an endearing individuality. I am delighted to have a rendezvous with Abhishek Bachchan.
Just let your thoughts, your dreams unfold. Let's talk of love, of tales untold. Speak so I can see your soul. Speak so I can see your soul.
Hi, Abhishek.
Hi.
So happy to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I've seen you grow up as a kid, but we've never spent time talking one-on-one.
Actually, we've talked, but not in depth.
Yeah, and never just without anybody else around.
True.
So I've got you all to myself tonight. You know, John Kennedy Jr. was asked what it's like to be the son of a legend. He said, it's complicated. It makes for a rich but complicated life. I wonder, is it the same for you?
Not at all. My life has been anything but complicated. I've done everything any child could have dreamt of. If anything, I would call my being the son, as you said, of a legend as a matter of great honor and pride and happiness.
Certainly, but when you're the son of a legend and that legend is in the same profession as you, doesn't that complicate things a little bit?
No. In fact, I think it's a great advantage. Before I started working, I used to think of these things of, you know, I'm coming into the same industry that both my parents have achieved so much in.
Yeah.
Expectations are going to be very high. But I can't let comparisons and expectations weigh me down.
But don't you get tired, don't you get fed up of reading how you're being constantly measured up to him, compared to him? Doesn't it get you?
I've always looked at it in this way that I'm being measured up to the best, so.
But Abhishek, that can be much more difficult. Imagine if here is a world chess grandmaster and here is the young son, a young beginner. Now you can't compare the two. The experience level, the body of work level, so much else, times are different. And it's not a fair comparison.
I've always been asked, you know, what is it to live under such a great shadow?
Yeah.
And wouldn't you want to step out of it? Of course, every son wants to step out of his father's shadow for the sole reason to make his father proud of him. I endeavor for the same thing. But as far as living under his shadow, it's a fantastic shadow to be under, let me tell you.
Sure, but don't you find that they are unwittingly making your father your greatest competitor?
Maybe they are, he's not for me. I'm his biggest fan. I have no problems looking like him, being like him, and being compared to him. I really don't.
What about your own identity? Do you want one?
I have one.
Which is?
Which is this. So, I take it in my stride. I'm bothered about doing my work to the best of my ability. And the great thing is, because I have such great parents at home, to feel protected and loved by them and my family is a wonderful thing.
Yes, now I'm talking about Abhishek the actor. Sure, at home.
You're the first person to call me an actor.
Oh, come on.
True.
But of course you are.
Well, that's nice to hear.
But tell me something, were you, like other star sons, a film junkie? Did you watch lots of films?
I only watched my father's films.
Not even mothers?
I think that... No.
No.
I used to go completely ballistic after seeing my father's films. The total opposite happened with my mother's films, because see, when you're a young boy, your father is your hero already, and to see your father beat up 50 people and jump off buildings, Superman is a wimp compared to him. So my mother's cinema was a total different world from what my father did.
You found her films depressing?
Very. When you're a kid, you would.
Yeah,
I mean, at that point of time, I mean, you have Amar Akbar Anthony and Shor. So my mother's going to shoot me after this interview. But
tell me, Abhi, if your parents were not actors, would you still be in films?
I think so. Throughout my childhood, up until school, deep down inside there was always this simmering want and need to be an actor.
Abhishek, you haven't yet had the success that your talent deserves. Have you been able to put a finger on why it hasn't happened?
I was once asked, or told rather, you're a flop actor, how does it feel? And I said,
Somebody could say something like that to you.
yeah, why not? They're entitled to their opinion.
It's very cruel.
Such is life. These are things you have to deal with. You're public property. They make you what you are. They have every right to make you realize that and tell you what they feel. It's fine.
But do you agree your selection has not been spot on so
Well,
far?
evidently not. Therefore, there is a certain amount of pressure to say, okay, it's about time you got it right.
But it's said struggle is good for the soul. Is it?
Yeah. It makes you realize a lot of things. I might not have had an initial struggle to get into this industry, but this is my struggle today. You know, I'm anxious about having to succeed. You know, somebody said, you know, isn't it disheartening?
Yeah.
To be very honest, I mean, not trying to be diplomatic, but yes, it can be disheartening. And it is. I'm a human being. I'm going to get hurt when somebody says you look fat. I'm going to get hurt when they say you don't know how to act, or you should stop acting, and he's only achieved what he has because he's his father's son. I know those might be some certain truths, but it hurts.
Of course.
I too feel, like I said, I'm human. But that also eggs me on to say, all right, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to keep acting until I can make you eat your words. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to, you know, to prove myself, more so not only to the audiences and to my family, but to myself.
Sure.
It takes one bad review, despite you having
it
had
does.
100 great reviews. But it's that one review
Haunts you.
which I take and stick up on my wall and read every morning.
Really? So you're hungry for success.
I'm starving.
Abhishek, it's definitely coming your way. I promise you.
Let's hope so.
I think Paul Coelho said in The Alchemist that if you want something badly enough, the universe conspires to bring it for you. So I'm sure it'll happen.
I hope so.
Now let's talk about Abhishek the person, okay? I want to know about you. How old were you when you first fell in love?
I think I was 4.
I thought it was 6.
6, you're correct. So I presume you're going to tell me to who also.
Tell me,
Zeenat Aman.
what happened?
I don't know. The magic of films. I've seen a lot of the films that, you know, Pa and her have done together, and I was crazy about her. In fact, I think I asked her to marry me once. But I was very young, so I think she just brushed me aside as a juvenile delinquent.
I spoke to her last night.
Oh,
She's in America.
oh, wonderful.
And she said here was this very quiet, shy boy with the hugest and most expressive eyes she's ever seen. She says, but surprisingly, he used to always be hiding behind his mother whenever I was around.
I was very shy.
Yes.
Because everybody used to make fun of me.
And mother would say, oh, he's very shy because he thinks the world of you. And then she said, I'd always find him peering at me from just behind her sari.
Oh, well. The things we do for love. But, you know, I still haven't had the guts to be able to go up to her and say hello.
She still gets to you.
Yeah.
How nice. Did you have lots of crushes?
No.
No. One
My
major.
dad was pretty much occupying every other status in my life, yeah.
Today, what sort of a girl do you find appealing?
I think in terms of their beauty and their demeanor, Indian women are by far the most appealing on earth.
Do you get turned on by brains or turned off?
Well, you need a body around it, but just brains by itself would be kind of... No, most definitely. I think it's very important to be able to talk to your partner.
In a woman, what is hard to resist?
It depends, but their eyes usually.
Okay.
Contrary to what they might think guys look at, but I think most men that I know look at a woman's eyes first.
The women they want to get to know.
Oh, definitely.
Otherwise, it's different.
Well,
Are you trusting?
extremely. Sometimes wrongly so. But yeah.
Gullible?
People can be a sucker for anything when they're slightly vulnerable.
I think you are a bit of a sucker for tears. Right?
Yeah, sometimes.
That gets you.
You have to understand, I grew up in a household where, apart from hero worshipping your father, I never saw my father emote apart from on screen. The first time I saw my father cry was at my sister's wedding. And I think it's a very bare emotion.
Are you a pragmatist or a dreamer?
No, complete dreamer. I live in a dream world. I think most actors do.
Maybe by nature, are you flirtatious?
No, I'm very shy, actually. I've never managed to flirt successfully with a woman. It's quite sad.
I find that hard to believe.
It's true. It's true. I just don't know what to say. I tried once when I was in school.
What happened?
I think she left the school.
Nonsense.
She decided that this guy is too freaky for me. I'm very bad. I completely clamor up in front of women.
Yes, you did with Zenith as well. so-
See, since I was a child. I'm not very good at the whining and dining. I've never done that.
You didn't date a lot of girls earlier on?
No.
Even in Boston or in Switzerland? When you're young, you hang out with people. You
Just
go-
because you're young doesn't mean you have to be frivolous.
Okay.
Call me old-fashioned, but I have nothing against being frivolous. I have nothing against people wanting to have fun. If that's what both of you consent to do, then go ahead, by all means, enjoy yourselves. But if you've committed to somebody, on whatever level, be if you're 10, you're 18, or you're 30, then abide by that commitment. Otherwise, don't make it. But if you commit, I personally feel as a man, if you commit to a woman to even just court her or be her boyfriend, then be loyal to her. Because you wouldn't like it if she was not loyal to you. And since men are usually accused of being very disloyal, so I've never been able to understand that. And I don't agree with it, and it disgusts me. If both of you are fine by being very easy on each other, then that's fine. I've never been able to do something like that.
Abhishek, what is the one quality you value in a person?
They're various, but I think integrity and honesty are very important to me. I personally wouldn't be able to sleep with myself. I mean, just go to bed peacefully if I knew I'd not, if there was no sort of integrity or honesty in my life and in my dealings in that day. At the end of the day, when you put your head down on your pillow, no matter who's sleeping next to you or in the same house as you, you're all alone. You come and you go alone. As far as I'm concerned, integrity and honesty are very important.
Abhishek, are you able to show your emotions in real life?
No, I can, but I'm very uncomfortable doing it.
So, Jayaji says that you do share your thoughts, and quite eloquently. The only thing is, she says, you try and protect her from your pain.
I feel I'm like my mother in the sense that what we feel inside comes onto our face immediately.
No.
Whereas my father and my sister are far better at hiding it. I've never believed in trying to burden anybody with problems.
Yeah.
You take as much as you can. Once in a while, you do tend to vent. And it's usually with my family. But generally, I have a great capacity.
You've gone through a lot recently. I mean, you've been through a broken engagement. Has that been difficult?
I think I'd be dishonest if I said no. Yeah, it has. But I'm also of the opinion that don't cry that it's over, smile that it happened.
Oh, yes.
Certain things in life just don't work out. And that's fine, you have to move on. And I have no ill feelings towards anybody, or I've never been that. Like I said, I'm not a bitter person, I'm not negative. You have to accept that things weren't intended.
But you were together for 6 years. It took you that long to convince the family, didn't it?
No, I didn't have to convince anyone.
But at a time when you were most certain of a future together, it ended. Was that disillusioning?
I don't think anything is disillusioning. I'm very pragmatic when it comes to that. I'm not such a dreamer then.
Yes. As you said that you're not a frivolous person and you take your commitment seriously. So that has to be a bit disillusioning, Abhishek.
If something's not meant to happen, it's not going to happen, no matter how hard you try. And it's nobody's fault. It's just some things are not meant to happen. I don't think that should be reason enough for you to get disillusioned. That'd make you a very weak person. It's, it's in the face of the greatest adversities that you actually realize what kind of a person you are. And your true strength comes out then, And I think getting disillusioned would be something a very weak person would become. I've never been taught to be weak. You have to accept it and move on. You can't run from the wind. You just have to trim your sails and move on. And it's as easy as that. I mean, I don't want to sound very cut and dry, but that's life. Life does not give you a second chance. So you have to play with the cards that it deals you. I mean, I've never been somebody who's tried to run away from that. I came into this industry, my movies haven't worked. I know more about what standing I have currently, be it commercially or with the audiences, than anybody else on earth could ever have. Because it's me, I experience it every day. I go out there and I face it every day. I face indifference at times, and I face the love and respect. So I'm the best judge of whatever happens in my life. I've been out there and I've fought it every day. I get up every morning and I go out there and I say, no, I'm going to prove you guys wrong. I'm going to fight till the end. I'm not one of the people who's going to shy down in whatever, be it my career, in my personal life or whatever. But you have to accept that certain things are not going to happen.
What do you think is needed to make a relationship work?
Various things. I don't think it's any one particular thing. Most importantly, I think it is love, of course.
Yeah.
But it'd be kind of foolish to say that you need to love somebody to be in a relationship with them. That's a granted. But to make a relationship work, I think it basically just starts off with belief.
Believe.
Yeah. Many people have said trust, respect. Just believe. And I think that encompasses everything. Believe that the person is going to be trustworthy. Believe that this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Believe.
But it hasn't changed your belief in love, your trust?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Good. I'm glad about that. What, according to you, is love?
I feel love is a grossly misused and badly used word. I feel love is a very strong emotion. By far the strongest emotion a human being possesses. I mean, we've had wars because of love. It can lead a man to fight till death. It can lead a man to take his own life because of that. So I feel it's not given the due respect it commands. But if you do love a person and you can say to the person, then that's a very big thing. For me, love is, I mean, yes, it is unconditional, but I feel love is an emotion that, you know, gives you a really warm feeling in your chest. And it's as simple as that. But nothing else on earth will ever put that warmth there. It's just a feeling. And, oh, it's a great feeling.
You know, we've all been through the end of a relationship or heartbreak or disappointment. All of us have. What one learns from it, that's where it differs. How does a young man deal with it?
I think first and foremost you have to accept that time is the greatest healer of everything. I'm an actor, I have to act. I concentrate on my work. I'd be a lie to say that you don't think about certain things. You do, always. But like I said, time is the greatest healer. And the most important thing is not to be negative towards anybody or towards yourself or towards society or towards anything. Because all you're doing is just eating yourself up alive inside. Life is tough, but you still have to live it.
And put it down to an experience.
Like I said, don't cry that it's over, smile that it happened.
Well, Abhishek, call me a psychic, but I know that success awaits you, and I also know that you will meet someone who will love, value, and cherish you for the wonderful person you are.
Thank you.
I want you to be very happy.
I am very happy talking to you.
Thank you so much for coming over tonight.
It was my honor altogether.
Thank you for this rendezvous.
Thank you. Okay, I promised everybody I'd hug you instead of just holding your hand.
Oh.